Alright, it is time to do what every YouTuber does and give you guys a game room tour. Now this room is very small, so I'm going to do my best to show everything to the best of my ability. It's going to be shaky, and I apologize. I left the room essentially how I have it on the day-to-day use, minus the fact that I have all the TVs on, which is not usually what I do, but it looks good, you know. Got to show those videos and all that stuff. But I'll give you kind of a overview of everything. I've got 3 main TVs in here. Now I do use all of them. Technically, let's go down a little bit. So I have my main Toshiba, which has component and is a curved screen, which is kind of hard to find. So really enjoy using that. I have, I'm sorry, the guy carrying the giant Sega Saturn controller on the left is really distracting me. But going over here, I've got it is a 14-inch KV 14 something S42 or V42, and I have that currently set up going through about 1,500 retro video game commercials randomized off of a Raspberry Pi. I'll show that here in a second. So it's been fantastic. I just throw it on. It does have audio. I don't have it on currently, just to be able to play music in the background. And then over here is my I have a BBM 8-inch on top, which I have yet to find an actual use for, and then the 1915 on the bottom. I have a whole video on that. It is okay. And I'll pretty much leave it at that. I love the commercials. This is a long commercial. I'm surprised. Little Sega Saturn. One day I'll own one. I'll go through each console here. And like I said, the room is small, so it's kind of hard to shoot this properly. But a regular Wii, nothing fancy. Soft modded with a hard drive, like everyone. Over here I have, let's bring this up a little bit. I've got just a regular Nintendo 64 with an EverDrive 64 bootleg, and it works great. I've actually painted this case, probably I'd say 11 to 12 years ago, maybe even longer. It is themed after the Diahawks 64. I really wanted one growing up, in my 20s, and they were really hard to find. I did get one. It's in the glass display case behind me. I'll show you. But yeah. Over here, and don't you love cable spaghetti in the back? See, I don't care about cable management, so hopefully you don't either. But just a PS2 soft modded with a 2 terabyte hard drive with whatever games I want to play. Works great with OPL. Over here is the Raspberry Pi that plays the retro gaming commercials off of that USB drive. It is still going through that Sega Saturn commercial, which must be like 5 minutes long. And then over here, I've got the Sega Dreamcast. The top parts usually have controllers, but I haven't put them on yet. I don't really need them at the moment. And this is running a GDEMU. That's how I have Dolphin Blue running, the Thomas Wave conversion. And I've got a Behar Brothers, I think it's called the Ninja or something like that. It is a VGA and RGB out, which goes, and this is just so terrible back here. Oh, it's just awful. It goes to a Retro Tank RGB to component adapter or switcher or scaler, whatever the hell it's called. And then go down here, I have, bring this a little bit, I have all of my strategy guides. They're wonderful to collect for. You can find them locally, at least in my area, for pretty cheap. Most people, they're not overpriced unless it's like a JRPG. I have a bunch of them, a bunch of Pokemon ones. Those seem to be the most common, and I mean, I love them. I just love going through the art. I got some of them, the Japanese ones in Japan. Over here is my Nintendo Power collection. A lot of these I actually had as a kid, so these are my original copies. Some of them, locally and all that stuff. A couple tiny Japanese guides, but I love pulling those out. Fun to look through. And moving over here, I have some Japanese strategy guides, which are pretty fun. I love the kind of the smaller form factor. Something about them, I don't know, they're just pleasant aesthetically, and I love going through those. Most of them are sealed. I got a lot of these in Japan. A couple as gifts. Over here, I've got a Majora's Mask guide. Some wonderfully delicious cable spaghetti, everyone's favorite. And I'm going through Majora's Mask, so that's the only guide I have is a 3DS version, but whatever, it works. And then going over here, I have just kind of the figurine. I have it all themed to the best of my ability per franchise, kind of. Oh, sorry, this is important. This is an absolute classic. It's the the Smash 64. Love it. Anyway, so yeah, I just have all my collectibles. I try to keep it, I wouldn't say super tidy, but themed. I'm going up here, just some controllers, some nice acrylic stands for the Game Boys. I got this cool acrylic stand yesterday, actually, for about $2, and I put some figurines on it. Didn't look super great, so put some carts. Looks a little better, I guess. And then this is the Final Fantasy XIV bomb. I actually got this in Japan in a UFO machine, and I love it. It's very squishy, which is great. I've gone through a couple of these here, and I tried to do this per series or what have you. This is the Kirby one, a lot of cool Gashapon figures, and the Crystal Shards Japanese box, which is wonderful. If you couldn't tell, I am a big Dragon Quest fan, and I love the Metallic Monsters set, which it's like actual metal and pretty heavy. That's a GameCube controller back there that me and my brother-in-law made, so love that. Wish I could use it more, but it's kind of fragile. Some Pokemon figurines and plushes. I have way too many. This cursed, like, banana-colored Sudowoodo. And then going on to the best boy. The boy. He's my favorite Pokemon. Most people know that now. And just some Pokemon games. I need to flesh this out a little bit more, but Dragon Ball Z. Same with this one, Zoids. You like that lighting? Good lighting, right? Zelda. I just set this up, so it's going to be fleshed out at some point. I have a lot more nonsense I can put up. Love that Luma. It's all resin casted. This doesn't really fit the whole theme of the room, but I don't care. Elder Scrolls with this really cool pewter Marlin Collector's Edition Ordinator, which is very cool. It took me forever to find that. Little Animal Crossing. Some Amiibos. And then Pikmin. And I have had these little Pikmin guys. Oh, camera, please. They're super tiny and pretty detailed. I've had these for like 10 years, and they're really cool. I've never seen another set like them. Alright, and then finally, this is just the games. Now, I have a lot more games in this, but as I've gotten older, I care less about just having, big stacks of games and the spines. I just want to look at the art. That's what matters to me when I collect games. Like, I have flash carts and all this stuff. I don't really need to collect the carts. I just love the artwork. And so all the Japanese 64, which is my favorite console and my favorite region to collect for, if you couldn't tell. Some miscellaneous boxes up here. Really cool promotional Spirit Tracks. No one likes that game. But I got that from GameStop a long time ago. I'm glad I could finally put it up. Just some miscellaneous carts. Mix of Japanese and US releases, and some 3D printed displays that I made. Really look pretty good. A couple of Super Famicom games. I've got some of the Yoshitaka Amano art, the front mission, some other ones. Awesome. Some big box stuff. And some regular consoles. This is like the pinnacle of my childhood. I love this thing. I used to use it, you know, this is what I remember keeping all the actual 64 carts in. I used to use it a long time ago. I've since retired it, but I don't know. It just, I can't seem to, you know, get rid of it. I love it too much, and it's useful. Oh, and Heart Gold and Soul Silver display boxes I got from GameStop as well. And these two, most of these I got from GameStop. The Pokemon Snap one was an eBay purchase. It was like $10. I'm assuming it's from a standee that someone yoinked off of there, but yeah, just kind of a display primarily of just like the art and try to make it not super cluttered. And then the final part of this room is just the corner in the back here. So got a couple of Dragon Quest posters, and I have this IKEA Calyx, or I'm sorry, the Detolf with the 64s. I tried to make it, you know, kind of clean. I 3D printed some little display stands, and this is one of my favorite pieces in the just entire collection. Turn that down a little bit. It's so gorgeous. Look at it. That is what my actual Nintendo 64 was based off of, and probably 8-9 years later, I finally grabbed one for a decent price before, you know, all the crazy boom. And then over here, and at some point I need to make a video on this, it's on my list, is a Tomy Gacha machine. And this is the North American one, which, yeah, yellow and blue, let me tell you, it looks fantastic. And buddy of mine 3D printed and designed some stands, because it's unobtainium to find the actual like plastic stands for these. So I just have some Gashapons, some other things. I need to buff it out. But yeah. Now, down here, I actually do have this machine does work, and it is, I wouldn't say mostly filled, but it's pretty filled with toys, keychains, Gashapon. Like this one in particular has all the Pokemon Kid figures. They're little finger puppets. That's what those are right there. So I have a bunch of those, and that entire thing is filled with them. The mechanisms do work. The artwork on these, the Pokemon ones are real. So this one is real, and the one down here is real. The rest, I printed myself. These are surprisingly hard to find. But yeah, this one's real. Fairly high quality, I like it. Over here, some of the little Gundams, one of my favorite things to collect. And I apologize, I have no space, because I have a couch right here. And then the UDF, or I'm sorry, the UDM figurines. I love collecting those. And then finally, this is a real one too. This is a little Sleepy figures. And I actually do have 3 Sleepy figures right here. You can ignore the glare. Look at them, they're sleeping. Well, yeah. At some point, I will do a whole video. There's a surprising lack of information on this particular machine. Yet they're pretty common, at least in the East Coast in the US, from what I've seen. My plan is to paint all the yellow bits white, redo the stickers, and keep the rest, you know, it's just going to be white and blue. Try and get some buffing compound and make it real shiny and see-through. And then fill it up, or keep filling it up. And that's the whole game room. We got Samba de Amigo over here. Very nice. Yeah, not too bad. I have like I said, it's a fairly small room. Grubby little couch that works. It's pretty cozy, and yeah, it all works out pretty well. Lots of toys. I will try and post an update. I'm still kind of working on making this a better space. So let me know what you think. Thanks.